I honestly think that once she's gone from Star Wars, people will just, say good riddance, she's gone, and then forget about her.
Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy. And I would love to go around and just the open question, and we'll start with you, Ben. What will be Kathleen Kennedy's legacy once she's done?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't even know. I feel like even the people that support or enjoy Disney Star Wars, or a lot of elements of Disney Star Wars, I feel like even those people don't love Kathleen Kennedy. I feel like she's a pretty disliked figure in the Lucasfilm Disney, I don't know, area. And I don't see her legacy being great, not when it comes to Star Wars. And I know the reason that they brought her on in the first place is because she'd produced some other projects and people really liked her as a producer or whatever. Or maybe that's the reason. But after the amount of damage that's been done, regardless of whether you like it or you don't, there's a lot of fans that have been alienated from Star Wars, and I don't think anybody can deny that. And I think a lot of that is Kathleen Kennedy's doing. So her legacy is going to be something that is looked on as a negative far more than a positive. And I honestly think that once she's gone from Star Wars, people will just, say good riddance, she's gone, and then forget about her for, until in the history books, right? You talk about the great culture debate, culture war, whatever you want to call it, with Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy, and then kids will learn about it from their parents. And let me tell you about Kathleen Kennedy and all the terrible stuff she did for the Star Wars brand or whatever. So yeah, her legacy is not going to be good, I don't think. But regardless of that fact, I think that most people feel that way.
Anna?
Death, the destroyer of worlds.
Darth Gall?
I think her legacy will be having let the most popular, influential IP in the history of film lose its place as the most popular, influential IP in film, which should never have happened. I think her legacy will be losing millions of dollars making Star Wars movies and not being able to sell action figures of Star Wars characters. And that's kind of hard to imagine how you could fuck that up, but she found a way to do it. And I think that if you ran a Subway the way that she ran Star Wars, you'd lose your job within the year, but she got to keep hers for a decade. It's kind of weird.
Tom?
Even though I like aspects of Disney Star Wars, I can tell you that Kathleen Kennedy was not responsible for any of them. So it's going to be hard to say. I think it depends who wins in terms of, because the victors write the history, right? So I think that there will be a book praising her for her countless jobs of being a producer for films that are influential and made money. And then you're going to have people that can see through the Hollywood stuff and be like, yeah, she had a great marketing campaign for Force Awakens. She built up characters. The whole team built up Kylo Ren. They built up a mystery, and then they just let it burn. She destroyed Indiana Jones too. Like you can't. It's like complete Willow, the entire Lucasfilm catalog. So
Tim?
Yeah, agree with most of what everyone said, but also largely a boogie woman. I think whoever steps in to fill her shoes may be worse. So I don't think taking her out is going to fix anything. I think some of the people with the company right now in a creative position are probably worse than her. We won't name any names, but yeah, destructive, but probably not the worst that it could have been.
Would you guys agree? And I don't know, I honestly don't know. Is she the one that primarily was responsible for firing Gina Carano? Was that her decision?
I mean, from my understanding, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were relatively close to Gina. I don't think, it sounds to me like they were friends, but I don't know who would have made that ultimate decision. But she has
boss,
to have
right?
something to do with it. Yeah.
She's top 100%. Of the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Well, Alan Horn,
it was Kathy.
Because I don't think the creative team would have fired her. Because I think the creative team rather liked her and enjoyed her role. So it definitely would have been a corporate decision.